As a pastor's wife, what helps you deal with loneliness when your spouse is always needed by others? This is a question a pastor's wife asked me recently, and I thought we should talk about it. Welcome back to Times of Refreshing Encouragement for Pastors' Wives. My name is Toyin. If you are new here, you're very welcome. Here we talk about our calling, our challenges, and even our joy. Many times our husbands are busy in the ministry. Yes, we're also busy alongside, but remember, they are the pastors. Of course, they do more than we do. And many times, because they are the pastor of a church, especially when they are the lead pastors of a church, they need to actually attend to a lot of people between prayer, counseling, getting ready for messages, visiting, and so on and so forth. Even though we are being carried along, even though in most things we are, by their sides, but I can assure you it is not in all things. There are things that your husband as a pastor needs to do, and you don't have to be there with him to do it. And there are times they have to go to different meetings, different trainings. So how do you cope as a pastor's wife when you feel lonely because your husband is busy doing the work of the ministry? Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back. So let's talk about this part of the ministry life that we don't always say out loud. Loneliness while our husband is busy attending to others. The reality is that ministry demands are real and they are constant. Supporting the call doesn't cancel personal emotional needs at all. Loving the assignment and still feeling lonely can actually coexist. You can be committed to the calling and still long for companionship. And that is okay. That doesn't make you weak. It makes you human because we are all relational beings. But what are some of the things that we can begin to do to help us so that we feel less lonely, we create moments together, and also be able to feel the connection that is supposed to be there? The first thing I want to talk about today is to separate the calling from the marriage. Your spouse's assignment is to many people, but your marriage still needs intentional connection. So you need to avoid competing with the ministry. Instead, communicate your needs to your spouse wisely. It is good to learn that silence doesn't protect the marriage at all, but honest communication actually does. Also, build a full life beyond the role. We need to develop personal purpose, hobbies, friendship, and routine. Don't let your entire identity revolve around ministry availability. Emotional fulfillment should not at all depend on one person alone. Your husband is just one person. Many people do not have any other hobbies apart from the church or apart from being with their husband, which is okay. But we must know that because of the call of God upon your spouse's life, there would always be time that he will not be there. So begin to look at what other things actually, takes your attention. Find new hobbies. Look for things to do. Meet other people like other pastors' wives and grow other connections. So that when he needs to go away and do some other things, you will be able to cope without him being there. And making friends in the church is not wrong. It has to be done with a lot of wisdom and discretion. One day I'll be talking about that. Life becomes fuller. Loneliness becomes lighter. The next thing is to create intentional connection on rhythm. How do we do this? Schedule protected couple time. Daily check-in. Share devotion or prayer moments. Communicating appreciation, not just what we need all the time. Connection doesn't always require more time. Sometimes it just requires more intention. A phone call here and there, just a little note to know that you have been checked on. Strengthen your personal walk with God because loneliness often becomes deeper intimacy with God. Use quiet seasons for spiritual growth and emotional renewal. God fills the spaces people cannot always occupy in our lives. In season, when your spouse was needed by many, God reminds us that we are still deeply seen and accompanied by Him. If you are navigating loneliness in ministry marriage, remember your role is supportive, but your heart still matters. You are allowed to need connection, joy, and companionship. And with wisdom, you can cultivate all three without losing focus or losing peace. If this spoke to you, please go ahead and share in the comment section. What has helped you to stay emotionally strong in the seasons when ministry demands are high? And if you are a pastor's wife walking this journey, also, don't forget to like, to subscribe, and to share this with another woman who would need this encouragement today. Thank you so much for staying tuned. I'm really glad you did. Until next time on Times of Refreshing, stay encouraged. Bye-bye.